Okay, any questions? All right, thank God. I'm going to speak today about how I became an art dealer and also a little bit about how I started the madness of art. I was an accounting major in college, even though the last thing on earth I ever wanted to do was be an accountant. I was great in math. My father pushed business, so math and business equaled accounting. And I don't think I kept it hidden very well. I went on an interview with Arthur Andersen senior year, and halfway through the interview, one of the partners asked, "You don't really want to be an accountant, do you?" And I said, "No." And that was 4 years of college, right down the drain. So I spent the next 5 years doing a lot of uninspired jobs, looking for my path. And I ended up in California working retail for a large linen company, opening up stores for them. And I was working 80-hour work weeks, working like a dog for the man. And I used my free time, all 14 minutes a week, to do things that I enjoyed. So one of the things I decided after a couple years, I needed a poster in my bedroom. And I didn't know a lot about art, but I knew that Miro made a lot of colorful posters. So I saw a little classified ad in the local paper. It said private dealer, and it mentioned 10 artist names, including Miro. That was the only name I knew. I went to see him, and his name was Jack Rutberg. And he spent an hour with me, and that hour changed my life. The first thing he asked me was, "Do you know what an original print is?" And I said, "No." And he spent the next hour showing me what a lithograph was, what an aquatint was, a woodcut, silkscreen. He taught me a little bit about the history of printmaking. I had no idea how rich that history was. And then he said something very profound. He said, "How can you ask someone up to see your etchings if you don't have any?" And something snapped that day, and I left there on fire. And I spent whatever free time I had studying prints, printmaking, the history. I went to museums. I looked at print collections. I started to collect prints, 17th century Dutch landscape etchings, 18th century Goya prints, 19th century mezzotints by David Lucas. I didn't even have time for the 20th century. It was just an incredible learning experience. And I took that knowledge and tried to do with it what I could. At the time, I was still stuck in retail, and they moved me to San Francisco. I happened to be living right next door to a comedy club, the Holy City Zoo, by chance. And one night, I decided to try my luck at open mic night, just for the hell of it. And someone in the audience laughed at something I said, and I was hooked. So for the next year, I spent nights doing comedy. During the day, I was working like a dog. Whatever free time, I was studying prints and printmaking. But I was still stuck in this retail job. And every time I thought of quitting, they would offer me a big raise. And so I had this dilemma. It's like the big raise, now I can buy more art, or they're sucking the soul out of my being. It was Andy Warhol print sucking my life force. And I went for the print for a couple years. I admit, but finally, like Confucius said, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And I'm sure he didn't work for a linen company in California. So I moved to New York at that time. I moved in with my girlfriend's studio apartment. I started doing comedy at night. During the day, I was doing some more uninspired jobs to raise money, but I also had time to go to museums and to art galleries. And one day on 57th Street, I saw Alex Rosenberg Gallery had a 50% off sale. So I went in, and one piece they had was a George Siegel vacuum formed plastic sculpture of the back of a nude, gazing woman. It was beautiful. It was an edition of like 100. And it looked just like one of his plaster sculptures. It was $2,500. So now it's $1,250. And luckily, Alex was in the back, and they had a very young salesman out front. So I said to him, "What if you're a dealer?" And he said, "You get an extra 50%. I said, I'm a dealer. I'm an art dealer. Art dealer. And I'll never forget what he said. He said, okay. And just like that, I was an art dealer. And I had a $625 George Segal sculpture. He had 14 of them. I bought them all. That was all the money I had saved up from my retail hellhole job. And I went and came home that day to my girlfriend's studio apartment with 14 big boxes. And she thought I was nuts. But I told her, honey, I'm an art dealer. And she was excited. She called her father because, Dad, Jim's an art dealer. Because she wasn't allowed to say comedian to him. And he never even asked, how did you become an art dealer? I don't know, he's an art dealer. He said he's an art, okay. So from that day on, I was a private art dealer. I stopped comedy because I was working 80-hour work weeks, but I was loving every minute. And the art market was exploding. 10 years later, I opened up this gallery on 23rd and 10th. And I started showing sculpture and photography and works on paper. And I continued my love of prints, now contemporary. And at this point, the one thing that was lacking a little bit, as much as I loved the gallery, loved the art world, was the creativity that the comedy world had given me. So I bought a camera and I started to film little vignettes about the art world. And I'm going to show a few small segments now.
Excuse me.
Is there something I can help you with?
Well, I'm an artist and I have some work I'd like to show. Is the Big Cheese home?
Normally we don't look at artist work.
I noticed.
We're very honored.
I have some work I'd like to show you.
Well, was that it? All right, okay, what do you got?
What do you think?
It's good, very good.
There was going to be like 100 art dealers. They're chanting. I can't. Where's your sign? I'm looking. I'm by the tree. Can you hold it up? Hold your sign up.
Listen, I can't hear you. Can you hold on 1 second?
Fair warning. Sold here for 21,250,000. Brett, your bidder. 1764, thank you.
There's not one red dot on our list.
Well, have we sold anything in the show?
No, but
Okay, that's why there are no red dots.
well, you know that. But does everyone have to know that?
What?
You know what I'm talking about? It's like hidden persuasion, where they come in and they go.
Hidden persuasion?
No, that's not it. You know what I'm talking about? People see red dots, they go, oh, this guy's good. You know what I'm saying? This guy's
When people come in and they see red dots, then they think everything is sold, so they just walk out.
Nobody thinks that. Not everything on a red dot. I'm saying a lot of red dots, so people are like, wow, And then what happens is they go, oh, this one doesn't have a red dot. It's available.
Actually, what happens is, if it doesn't have a red dot,
Yeah.
then they think, oh, those are like the rejects. So I'm
Really?
not sure that psychology is going to work.
Okay.
Because now they walk in and they go, oh, they're all rejects.
You like it, Matthew?
Personally, it's horrible.
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 Well, some people's horrible as other people.
No. I think nobody in their right mind would ever like this. I'm just spitballing here, but I think
Lucky for me, not everyone's in their right mind that comes in, you know what I mean?
All right. Explain this to me. What does this mean? If all art is meaning, what is the meaning of white lines?
What does this mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what postmodern means?
No,
Okay. This is postmodern, fatalistic, idiosyncratic, post-apocalyptic malaise, alien glitter, ironic, oatmeal existentialism. There's a psychological phallus. The point is that it's important.
it's not.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
What are you
Trust
getting
me.
at? What are you getting
I'm
at?
getting at the fact that if your mom buys it or anything here, I'll give you $10.
$10.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sell my mom down the drain for $10. 15.
So we've just finished, finishing our 30th episode. And they average around 7 minutes. And that's the end of season 3. But I can't wait for season 4 because there's just so much material in the art world, as I'm sure all of you know. And what I love about this is the collaboration. Friends, family, the boy in the last scene is my son. My sisters have been in it, my nephew. My mother's done 2 episodes, and they're classics, if you don't mind me saying. And my staff, that was Drew Arstark, the gallery director. She has a fan club now, I'm not kidding. I think she's had 10 proposals of marriage already from this. Artists, I've had the FedEx guy, I've had, of course, collectors. We had collectors come in one day, and we never know what we might be filming, and if someone's, we don't make anyone be in it, but we said, we're doing a scene, are you interested? And they said, okay. And I thought they might have been married. So they did the scene, they were wonderful, and we put their name in the credits, and then I didn't see them for a year. They came back, and they told me that that was their first date at the gallery. And now they have it on tape, and they were getting married. And so now they're married, so that was incredible. One of my artists, Charlie Hewitt, who I've shown for over 20 years, is my producer. And it's a family affair, and that's what I love about it. And I love New York, and I love the art scene. Like for example, last year I went to the thing is they're based on true life. They're really based on things that happen to us. Last year I went to a gallery, and I know we've all had this experience, and I asked, can I have the woman behind the desk, what's the price of the painting? And you'd think I'd ask for the secret code to the alarm system. Or for her firstborn. She was like, should I get a specialist? Do you need a specialist? I go, no, I don't need a specialist, just the price of the painting. She goes, well, I got a specialist. I said, listen, I don't even like the painting. I mean, if you come to our gallery, we'll give you the price, we'll give you any price you want. We'll throw a price out, doesn't matter, So we did a funny scene about that, and peace. Who is that guy? I love the unexpected. Robert Indiana walked into the gallery a few years ago, and he had big beard, scruffy. I never met him before. I thought he was homeless. I said, can I help you? And his friend said, this is Robert Indiana. I was like, Mr. Love? And he was a great guy, and I just started doing these, and I said, would you do an episode? And he said, okay. And so we did an episode where I'm selling fake loves. And Robert Indiana comes in and busts me, and this was his idea because he got ripped off so much. But 2 nights ago, and this is New York, 2 nights ago I'm walking on the High Line, and there's a big moon, and it's beautiful, and you can see the Empire State Building in the distance, and it's gorgeous. And then I walked further down, right at 22nd Street, there's an outdoor movie theater. They show movies on the wall, and there's 40 people watching a movie, and I sit down, and I swear, they're playing Andy Warhol's Empire State Building, the 20-hour movie of the Empire State Building. And if you walk 20 feet over here, you can see the Empire State Building, with the moon. But over here, I mean, it's just, I love New York. And I just want to end with a quote that I had read 30 years ago in a Philip Roth book, The Ghostwriter. In it, he quotes Henry James' story, The Middle Years. And the last lines are, We work in the dark, we do what we can, we give what we have. Our doubt is our passion, and our passion is our task. The rest is the madness of art. Thank you.